All right, so today we are going deep into Amy Morin's 13 things mentally strong people don't do.
Yeah.
Not the whole book, just some excerpts, you know?
Right.
But it's kind of like a mental strength boot camp, you know? But without the push-ups, maybe?
Well, and instead of just giving everybody another to-do list,
Right.
this whole deep dive is all about those sneaky little habits that could be just totally killing your mental strength.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's like we're decluttering, but like in your mind, making space for the good stuff, you know?
I love that analogy. Okay, so chapter 1, it just hits us right out of the gate, right? Mentally strong people don't feel sorry for themselves.
Right.
Now, I know we all have those woe is me moments.
Of course.
But what Morin's saying is that there's a difference between acknowledging a tough situation
Yeah.
and then letting self-pity just take over.
Right. Totally.
So what do you think about that?
It's like, you know, when you step in quicksand
Yeah.
and the more you struggle, the worse it gets. It's like that. The more you wallow in that self-pity, the more it just drains you, saps your energy that you could be using to like get yourself out of the situation.
To move forward.
Yeah, to move forward.
To take action.
Exactly.
So Morin tells this incredible story about Marla Runyon,
Okay.
who's a legally blind Olympic athlete. Like what?
Wow.
That in itself, I mean, competing at that level with a vision impairment,
Right.
but she doesn't even see it as a setback.
Right.
She calls it a gift, actually.
Oh, I love that.
So powerful. What do you think?
Oh, it is. It shows that it's all about, your perspective, right? Because instead of that, woe is me and why me, you can look at it like, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
How can I use this,
Right.
to grow, even if it's a challenging situation?
Yeah, so flip the script, basically.
Flip the script. Okay, so for our listeners out there, what can we take away from this?
So it's not about, pretending that our feelings aren't there. Right. We've got to acknowledge them. Yeah. But it's more about shifting our focus, right? Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, what can we be grateful for in this situation?
Yeah, even if it's a tiny little glimmer,
We had a tiny
just something positive, right?
Right, exactly.
That can help pull us out of the
Quicksand.
quicksand.
Yeah.
The self-pity quicksand.
And gratitude, that's the thing.
Right.
It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Okay, so next time you're feeling that, why me?
Yeah.
Challenge yourself, find something to be grateful for.
Anything.
Yeah, and you might be surprised at what happens.
Exactly.
Okay, Morin doesn't let up, though.
Nope.
Chapter 2.
Okay, hit me.
She tackles another one, and that is mentally strong people don't give away their power.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What does that even mean, give away their power?
Well, think about it. Think about a time when you let somebody else just totally dictate your mood,
Yeah.
Whether it's, something they said or did or... Yeah.
It's like you're handing them the remote control to your emotions.
Yeah.
And they get to press all the buttons.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Right.
I've been there, for sure.
Haven't we all?
Morin shares this story about a woman named Lauren, and she felt constantly controlled by her overbearing mother-in-law, who would come and visit. And she dreaded the visits and felt judged. And just her mood would get totally taken over.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Having that person in your life who just kind of sucks the energy out of the room.
Right.
But what's interesting is how Lauren had her breakthrough moment.
Okay.
She realized that she was so busy trying to control her mother-in-law's behavior, which was impossible.
Right.
But what she could control was her own reactions, her own boundaries.
So it's not about controlling other people. It's about controlling how we respond.
Exactly.
Okay.
Setting those boundaries, communicating what you need, not letting other people's negativity just take over your headspace.
Right.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is.
Okay, so chapter 3.
All right.
This is a big one, and I think this resonates with everyone. Mentally strong people don't shy away from change.
Yeah.
I mean, change is inevitable, right?
It is.
It's all about how we approach it.
I think that's what Morin is getting at here. It's that we can reframe how we think about change,
right,
and see it as an opportunity to grow.
Instead of something scary.
Yeah, exactly.
To be afraid of.
It's like, stepping outside that comfort zone could be scary, but also exhilarating.
Right.
You never know what you're going to find out there.
So Morin really emphasizes starting small. She tells this story about a guy named Richard, and he wanted to lose weight.
Okay.
And he would always get just overwhelmed by like the big picture. Like he had to make these huge changes.
Right. So much to do.
Yeah. But it wasn't until he broke it down into small steps, like just walking 15 minutes a day.
Oh, I see.
That he started to actually see results.
That makes sense. Breaking it down.
Right.
You know, it's like climbing a mountain.
Right.
You can't just magically teleport to the top.
Right.
You got to take it one step at a time.
You got to enjoy the journey.
Exactly.
Okay. So Morin gives us this 5-step guide.
Okay. I like it.
To tackling change. And I'm all about the steps and guides. So.
Lay it on me.
Okay. First, set a 30-day goal.
Okay.
Second, break it down into daily actions. 3, anticipate obstacles.
Because they're going to happen.
They're going to happen.
Yeah.
4, find an accountability buddy.
Keep you honest.
Yes. And 5, monitor your progress.
Makes sense.
So boom, you've got your roadmap for change.
I love it.
And Morin also, you know, she doesn't just give us the strategies. She shares these really inspiring stories of people who have really like changed their lives.
Oh, wow.
She mentions Judge Greg Mathis, who went from like gang activity, like a tough background,
wow,
to a successful judge and a TV personality.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
Shows you that change is possible.
Right, no matter where you're starting from.
Totally.
So remember, Richard's small steps, Judge Mathis, change is possible one step at a time.
One step at a time.
All right, so that was chapter 3.
Wow. Okay, what's next?
Moving right along, this is another, I think, a universal challenge, right? It's chapter 4, mentally strong people don't waste time dwelling on the past.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one.
I mean, we've all had those moments, right, where we just
absolutely
replay those past mistakes.
The woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yes. The if only I had, I should have.
It's easy to get stuck in that loop.
So easy.
Yeah, Morin really drives this point home. It's like you're driving a car, but you're only looking in the rearview mirror.
Right.
You might technically be moving forward.
Right.
But you're not really present in the now.
You're missing the scenery.
You're missing what's right in front of you.
Letting the past steal your present, basically.
Exactly. And preventing you from building a better future.
Okay, and Morin tells this really, really powerful story about a woman named Winona Ward.
Okay.
And she is a survivor of childhood abuse.
Wow.
And, you know, she could have easily let that experience refine her entire life.
Yeah.
But instead, she used it as fuel for positive change.
I love that.
She became an advocate for others.
Wow.
You know, sharing her story and working to create a better world.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It shows you that even the most painful things don't have to dictate your future.
You always have the power to choose how you respond.
Right.
So I think the takeaway here is acknowledge the past, learn from it.
Yes.
But then let it go.
Let it go.
Focus your energy on what you can control, which is
right now,
the present and your future goals.
Exactly.
So the next time you find yourself stuck in the past, try to shift your attention to this moment.
Yeah, what can you do right now to create the future you want?
Okay, so chapter 5 gets into this thing that I think, again, we've all experienced, right? Mentally strong people don't make the same mistakes over and over.
Yeah.
And, you know, we all say that we learn from our mistakes.
Like, I learned from that.
Right. I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, famous last words.
Right, but honestly, how often do we actually break those bad habits?
It's tough.
So tough.
And Morin actually challenges this assumption that we automatically learn from our mistakes, right?
Right.
She even mentions a 2012 study where they found that just making a mistake doesn't actually make us better.
Real.
It's how we process it that matters.
Okay.
So the book talks about pride, stubbornness, and impulsivity.
Oh, yeah.
As these kind of sneaky culprits that keep us making the same bad decisions.
Right. It's like those traits prevent us from seeing the lesson, like you're saying.
Exactly. Think about it. You know, think of a time you've repeated a mistake. Oh. Was it because you were too proud to admit you were wrong or too stubborn to change your approach?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
We've all been there.
For sure.
But you know what I like about this chapter?
What?
Morin gives us this really practical tip.
Okay.
Write it down.
Okay.
Create a plan, like anticipate those triggers.
Oh, I like that.
You know, develop a healthier way of coping.
Okay, a plan.
It's like a roadmap.
Yeah.
For how to navigate those tricky situations.
All right, so we need a roadmap.
We do.
And Morin also talks about Milton Hershey.
Okay.
The chocolate guy. And
Silly guy.
He had all of these business failures.
Really?
Yeah, before he made it big.
Oh, wow.
But he never gave up.
That's persistence.
And he learned from every mistake.
Okay.
And he used that to like fuel his next venture.
Okay.
So what's the takeaway there?
Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey.
Right.
The key is to not let it define you. Use it as an opportunity to learn and come back even stronger.
So if you're stuck, create that plan.
Yes.
Anticipate the triggers.
You got it.
And most importantly, don't beat yourself up about it.
Exactly.
Okay, chapter 6.
All right, bring it on.
This one's a tough one to swallow, I think. And especially in today's world of social media comparison, it's mentally strong people don't resent other people's success.
Oh, that's a tough one.
So tough.
Especially, like you said, with social media, everyone's
highlight reel.
Exactly.
It's so easy to get caught up in that feeling of, ugh, it should be me, or why not me?
Right. And you're only seeing this curated version of their lives.
Right.
You don't see the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
But, Morin's saying that resentment, it's like poison. It eats away at your happiness. And it keeps you from focusing on your own goals.
It does. It does.
What I find interesting here,
what's that?
Is Morin points out that resentment usually comes from insecurity, comparison, and just lack of clarity about what you actually want.
Right.
We're all on our own journeys.
Yeah.
We might be comparing our chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And, it's important to remember everybody's journey is different.
Right. And she uses this really cool example of Milton Hershey and H.B. Reese.
Oh, wow. The candy guy.
Yeah, the candy guys.
Okay.
And instead of seeing Reese as a competitor, Hershey supported him.
Oh, okay. And he even became a supplier for the peanut butter cups.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
So it shows you, someone else's success.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a threat.
Doesn't have to be.
There's room for everyone to shine.
Absolutely.
So what do we do with that resentment?
Well, what if instead of, dwelling on what others have, we focus on defining success for ourselves?
Oh, I see.
What truly matters to us.
Okay.
When we get clear on our own values, our own goals, it becomes easier to celebrate other people's wins.
Without feeling bad.
Without feeling diminished.
I like that.
Because their success doesn't take away from yours.
Right.
We can all win.
So if you're feeling resentful, reframe that energy. Use it to figure out what you want.
Exactly.
And then take action.
And celebrate those wins.
Okay, so moving right along.
Right.
This is a big one, I think. Mentally strong people don't give up after the first failure.
Oh, yeah.
Which, we all experience failure.
It's part of life.
But it's how we respond that makes all the difference.
Absolutely.
Morin tells this really great story.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's about Herb Brooks,
okay,
who is the coach of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. And he was actually rejected as a player for the 1960 Olympic team.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't let that stop him.
No.
He went on to coach the team to a gold medal victory.
That's incredible.
Against the Soviet Union, no less, who were heavily favored.
Talk about turning a setback into a triumph.
So rejection in one area doesn't mean you're done.
Nope, not at all.
So the book talks about the reasons why people give up.
What are they?
Like the fear of failure.
Makes sense.
Perfectionism, trying to be perfect all the time.
Yeah, sets you up for disappointment.
Right, and that negative self-talk, that inner critic that's just you can't do it.
Yeah, we all have that voice.
But Morin gives us some tools to fight back.
Okay, good. Because that voice can be loud.
It can be.
Yeah.
So she says, challenge those negative thoughts.
Okay.
Set realistic expectations.
Right, yeah.
And most importantly, reframe failure as a stepping stone.
I love that.
To success.
It's true. It's all part of the process.
So if you're facing a setback, remember Herb Brooks.
Herb Brooks, yeah.
Pick yourself up.
Dust yourself off.
Learn from it. Keep going.
Don't give up.
You never know what's waiting around the corner.
So true.
Okay, get this. Chapter 8.
Okay, I'm ready.
Mentally strong people don't fear alone time.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Especially in our, always connected world.
Right. Everybody's on their phones constantly.
It's like a radical concept almost.
It is, and it's so important, I think.
Yeah.
It's about, changing how we see being alone. It's not a weakness or, a sign of loneliness.
Right.
It's actually crucial.
For recharging.
For mental well-being.
For processing.
For everything. Think about it. When you're constantly bombarded, like your mind is going.
Right.
It doesn't have time to process or just be...
It needs a break.
It needs a break, exactly.
So Morin actually shares some research.
Oh, interesting.
That spending time alone can boost productivity.
Really?
Yeah, empathy and creativity.
Wow, so it's not just about like relaxing.
No.
It's about like enhancing your abilities.
Like hitting the reset button.
It is. That's a good way to put it.
So what do we do? How do we incorporate alone time?
Well, she suggests like actually scheduling dates with yourself.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, carving out that time to do something that brings you joy.
Yeah.
That lets you reconnect with yourself.
Okay, so for our listeners, what are some things that you would suggest?
Ooh, it could be anything, really.
Yeah.
Taking a walk in nature.
Okay.
Listening to music, reading a good book, meditating, journaling.
Anything that helps you unwind.
Exactly. Relax, recharge.
Okay, so next time you're feeling overwhelmed, take some time for yourself.
It's not selfish.
It's self-care.
It is, and it's essential.
It is for building that mental strength.
All right, so we are moving right along to chapter 9.
Okay, what's next?
This is an interesting one. Mentally strong people don't feel the world owes them anything.
Ooh, yeah, we've all met those people, haven't we?
I think so. Yeah, we've probably all encountered them.
Yeah.
That sense of entitlement. Like they deserve special treatment.
Or that things should just be handed to them.
Just because, right.
Right.
No.
But Morin's saying that can actually hold you back.
Totally.
She uses the example of Lucas. Oh. He was a recent MBA grad.
Okay, high achiever.
Yeah. And he felt entitled to a quick promotion.
Oh, okay.
In a leadership position. And he was really resentful.
Oh, okay.
When his colleagues didn't just automatically embrace his ideas.
Oh, I see. So he thought he should just be in charge.
Right. He thought he should just be at the top and that the company wasn't, recognizing his obvious talent.
Right.
But as Morin points out, the real world doesn't work that way.
No.
Success takes work, humility, willingness to learn and grow.
And collaborate.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's interesting here, I think,
what's that?
Is that entitlement often comes from insecurity.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. It's like we need to demand special treatment to prove our worth.
Right. But real confidence comes from within, not from what other people say or do.
So how do we combat this?
So Morin suggests a few things. Self-awareness, really being honest with yourself.
Okay.
Practicing empathy, putting yourself in other people's shoes. Stop keeping score.
Oh, yeah.
And focus on gratitude.
So much of this comes back to gratitude, huh?
It really does.
Okay, so if you are struggling with that entitlement, check yourself.
Yeah, be honest.
Ask yourself, am I holding myself back with these unrealistic expectations? What can I do to shift my focus?
Exactly.
To gratitude and taking responsibility.
You got it.
Okay, chapter 10.
Hit me.
This is so relevant, I think. Mentally strong people don't expect immediate results.
Oh, yeah.
This is all about the pitfalls of wanting everything right now.
Instant gratification.
We're in our instant gratification world.
Right. I mean, think about it. We've got instant downloads, next day delivery. You can find out anything you want on the internet in a second.
You can Google it.
Yeah, so it makes sense that we become less patient.
Right.
Morin actually talks about studies that show...
Really?
Yeah. Our patience levels are going down.
Because we're just so used to getting what we want when we want it.
Exactly. And then we get frustrated when things don't happen right away.
And we give up.
We do. We give up too easy.
It's like we're all looking for that easy button.
Yeah, that magic solution.
Yeah.
But, in reality, real success, lasting success, it takes time.
It takes work.
It takes effort.
And Morin tells this amazing story.
Okay, I'm ready.
About James Dyson, the inventor of the bagless vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, I love those.
You know how many prototypes he made before he got it right?
No, how many?
5,000.
5,000?
Over 5,000.
Wow.
And it took him 5 years.
5 years. That's amazing.
And most of us would have given up way before that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I would have.
Yeah.
So it's a testament to patience.
It is.
And persistence.
You got to believe in your vision.
And your vision.
Even when it's tough.
Okay, so if you are feeling impatient. Remember James Dyson and those 5,000 prototypes?
That's awesome.
Embrace the process.
Yeah.
Celebrate those little wins along the way. And trust that it will all come together.
Oh, will.
Okay, so before we move on, let's take a breath.
Yeah, good idea.
And just recap what we've learned so far.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
So mentally strong people.
Okay, let's see.
They don't feel sorry for themselves.
Don't give away their power. And they don't shy away from change.
They don't waste time dwelling on the past.
Don't make the same mistakes over and over again. And don't resent other people's success.
They don't give up after the first failure.
They don't fear alone time.
They don't feel the world owes them anything.
And they don't expect immediate results.
Wow.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many of these things we do without even realizing it?
Every day, probably.
Probably.
So it's a lot.
It is. It's like we're building a toolkit, one chapter at a time.
And we still have 3 more chapters to explore.
That's right. We're not done yet.
They don't fear taking calculated risks.
Okay.
They don't dwell on mistakes. And they don't give up on their dreams.
Ooh, good ones.
So get ready, because we are about to level up your mental strength game.
Level up. I like it.
As we dive into the next part of our deep dive.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Welcome back to our deep dive. Into 13 things mentally strong people don't do.
Oh, yeah.
Picking up where we left off.
Okay.
More juicy habits.
Yeah.
That could be messing with your mental strength.
Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many of these we might be doing and not even realize it, right?
Absolutely. But
yeah. Yeah.
Let's not dwell on the past. That's for a different chapter, right?
Right.
Chapter 11 is all about risk.
Ooh.
Mentally strong people don't fear taking calculated risks.
Okay, this is a good one.
Yeah, it really resonated with me. Because it's so easy to just stay in our comfort zone.
Right.
Even when you should push yourself.
It's comfortable.
Yeah. But, sometimes that comfort can turn into a prison.
Right.
Keeping you from really
reaching your potential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Morin tells this story
about
a guy named Dale. And his dream was to open a furniture business.
Okay.
It was his passion. You could just tell when he talked about it,
Yeah.
But he was so scared.
Of what?
The financial instability, failure, the unknown.
Yeah, all those what ifs.
Exactly. The what ifs were just drowning out his dreams,
Right.
And it's interesting. Dale was so focused on what he might lose that he couldn't see what he might gain.
Right. So the fear was blocking his vision.
Like blinders. Yeah. Exactly.
So how do we move past that?
So Morin says, it's not about being reckless.
Okay.
Calculated risks are about weighing the pros and cons,
right,
assessing the situation, and then making an informed decision.
So it's not just jumping off a cliff blindly.
No, it's like playing chess, not roulette.
Okay, I like that.
Right.
So it's more about strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And she even has this framework for thinking about risk taking.
Lay on me.
Okay, so examine the potential benefits, think about how this aligns with your goals, consider other options.
Right.
And even visualize the best case scenario.
Oh, I like that.
So it's about shifting your perspective from what if I fail
to what if I succeed.
Exactly. Flip that script.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Turn that fear into excitement.
Yeah, excitement, opportunity.
An opportunity. Right.
Morin even uses the example of driving a car.
Okay.
We do it every day.
Yeah.
But it's actually full of mini risk assessments.
Right. You're checking your mirrors.
Yeah. You're looking at the other drivers, the weather conditions.
Yeah.
You're constantly making decisions based on all these factors.
Okay. So we are taking risks. We just don't always realize it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the more we do it, the more confident we get.
And then she tells this amazing story.
Okay.
About Albert Ellis.
Albert Ellis.
He was this renowned psychologist.
Okay.
And he had this debilitating shyness.
Oh, wow.
But he systematically exposed himself to these social situations that terrified him.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Wow.
To overcome the fear.
That's brave.
So brave, right?
Yeah.
So even the deepest fears can be overcome if you're willing to push yourself.
It's like building those courage muscles.
Oh, I like that.
One small step at a time.
Okay, so start small.
Yeah.
Calculated risks.
Yeah, exactly.
And build up your confidence.
And she also talks about Richard Branson.
Oh, okay.
The Virgin Group guy.
Ah, yeah.
He's all about taking risks.
He is.
Starting an airline.
Yeah, or hot air ballooning across the ocean.
That's right. He does it all.
Yeah.
And it's cool. He talks about how his failures have been just as valuable as his successes.
Oh, interesting.
He sees them as opportunities to learn and grow.
So it's not just about winning all the time?
No, it's about the journey.
Okay.
The learning process.
So risk-taking, it's not about being fearless.
No.
It's about managing your fear, making smart decisions.
Yes.
And learning from those setbacks.
Exactly.
Don't let it hold you back.
From your dreams.
Okay, so speaking of setbacks, Chapter 12, mentally strong people don't dwell on mistakes.
Oh, yeah. We touched on this earlier.
Yeah, it's all about letting go of the past.
And moving forward.
And moving on. But, it's so easy to get caught up in that regret.
Absolutely.
Just replaying those mistakes over and over.
Like a broken record.
Right, and letting them define us.
But Morin is saying we have a choice, right? We can dwell on the past, or we can use it as fuel to create a better future.
So it's like choose your focus.
Yeah, choose your focus. And she uses this great analogy about grief. When you lose someone, it's natural to want to hold on to those memories.
Yeah.
But clinging too tightly can actually prevent you from creating new happy memories.
Oh, I see.
So it's about finding that balance, honoring the past, but also embracing the present and the future.
Okay.
And it's not just about like big life events.
Right.
We can dwell on those little mistakes too.
Right. The little things we do every day.
Exactly. Those everyday blunders, but they don't have to define you.
Okay.
And the thing is, dwelling on the past, it can distract you from the now.
It's like you're not fully present.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're trying to watch a movie and text at the same time.
Right. You're not really enjoying either one.
Exactly.
Okay.
And to drive this point home, she talks about Winona Ward again.
Oh, yeah. What?
The woman who survived childhood abuse.
Right.
She could have easily let that define her whole life.
Right.
But she chose to focus on making a difference.
What an inspiration.
She is. Right. It shows that we all have the power to create meaning and purpose, regardless of what's happened in the past.
Okay, so acknowledge it, learn from it, and then let it go.
Let it go.
Okay, let's move on to chapter 13.
All right, last one.
Mentally strong people don't make the same mistakes over and over again.
Oh, this is a good one, because we all do this, right?
Yeah, it's like we get stuck in these loops.
Yeah, like a hamster wheel.
Yeah, repeating those same patterns, even when we know they're not good for us.
It's so frustrating, right? Why do we do this to ourselves?
Well, Morin talks about a few things, like pride, stubbornness, impulsivity.
Right. Those can be, big obstacles.
It's like they're blocking you from seeing the lesson.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, pride might make you too afraid to admit you were wrong.
Right. Stubbornness keeps you stuck in your old ways.
Yeah.
And then impulsivity makes you act without thinking, so you just end up making the same mistake again.
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time.
We all do it. And she tells the story about Christy.
Okay.
She's a mom, and she was struggling with yelling at her kids.
Oh, I think a lot of parents can relate to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she knew it wasn't effective, and she felt terrible afterwards.
But she couldn't stop. Yeah.
And she realized she needed a plan.
Okay.
Like a strategy for how to deal with those tough moments.
Manage her emotions.
Exactly. To respond, not just react.
So it's like, instead of yelling, take a breath.
Right. And she talks about anticipating those triggers, right?
Yeah. Like, what are the things that set you off?
Yeah. And coming up with alternative ways to communicate.
Okay. So it's about having that plan, having those strategies in place.
Yeah. Like a roadmap for those tricky situations.
That roadmap again?
We need a roadmap.
Okay. And then there's actually research that shows that people are more successful at changing their behavior when they make these specific commitments ahead of time.
Like a contract with yourself, almost.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
So, write it down.
Write it down.
Make a plan, outline your goals, the steps you're going to take.
And then stick to it.
And
Morin tells this great story about Roland Macy.
Oh, okay.
The Macy's department store.
Yeah.
His journey was full of failures, businesses that went under, financial struggles, obstacles galore.
But he never gave up.
He kept going.
And look at what he created.
Exactly. An empire.
So what's the message there?
Failure is not the end. It can be the beginning of something amazing.
Right.
If you're willing to learn and adapt.
So if you're feeling stuck, remember Christy
and her yelling.
Yeah. And Roland Macy and his journey.
And his empire.
Develop that self-awareness. Identify those triggers. Make that plan.
And commit to it. You can change those patterns.
Absolutely.
And create the life you want.
I love that. Welcome back to the deep dive. It's amazing how much we've covered with Amy Morin's 13 things.
It really is.
It feels like, I don't know, like we've done some serious mental strength training.
We have. And you know what? One thing that really stands out to me.
What's that?
Is how how interconnected all these principles are.
Oh, yeah.
They all build on each other to create this foundation of mental strength.
So it's not just these individual habits to break.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's a bigger picture.
It is. It's a way of life almost.
Okay, so what's like a key piece that keeps coming up for you?
Well, I think one of the most important things we've talked about is the power of recognizing and challenging those negative thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can really hold you back, whether it's, dwelling on the past, fearing change, comparing yourself to others, all that stuff.
So easy to get caught up in that spiral,
Especially when you're stressed or feeling down.
Yeah.
But, Morin really makes it clear, we don't have to be victims of our thoughts.
Okay.
We have a choice.
Right.
We can learn to notice them, question them, and choose to focus on something better.
It's like you're the CEO of your own mind.
I love that.
You get to decide what thoughts get, like, airtime.
Exactly.
Right. Which ones get sent straight to voicemail.
Yeah, take control of that mental space.
And create a more positive environment.
Yes, a more supportive internal dialogue.
So Morin talks about becoming a thought detective, noticing those negative patterns and asking, is this thought even true?
Right. Is it helpful?
Is it serving me?
Yeah, ask yourself those questions.
And if not, challenge it.
Yeah, replace it with something positive, something that empowers you.
Okay, so instead of saying, I'm going to mess this up, say, I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to learn no matter what happens.
Exactly. And I think one of the most powerful ways to shift that mindset is gratitude.
Oh, yeah, we keep coming back to that, huh?
It's so important.
It is.
When you focus on what you're thankful for, it changes your whole perspective.
It's like what you focus on expands, right? If you're only looking at the negative, that's all you're going to see.
Yeah, but if you start looking for the good, you'll find more of it.
Even the small things.
Yes, the little things that count.
And she suggests making gratitude a daily practice.
Oh, yeah, make it a habit.
Doesn't have to be like a big formal thing.
No, just take a few minutes each day.
Okay.
And think about what you appreciate.
Okay.
Your health, your family, your friends, good cup of coffee.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever makes you smile.
It's like a little dose of positivity every day.
It is. And, studies have shown that gratitude can actually improve your health, both mental and physical.
Really?
It can reduce stress, improve your sleep.
Wow.
Boost your immune system.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is. All from just taking a few minutes each day to be thankful.
Okay, so we talked about the 5,000 prototypes. It's kind of like that.
Building mental strength.
Yeah.
It's a process. It's not a quick fix.
Just not going to happen overnight.
No, it's about consistently practicing these principles, challenging those negative thoughts, cultivating that gratitude, and embracing those moments of solitude.
And you don't have to do it alone, right?
No, not at all.
We've got friends, family, therapists. There's support out there.
Exactly. And don't forget about the inspiring stories we've talked about today.
Right. Yeah, all those people who have overcome challenges.
Yeah, they can give you strength too.
Okay, so we've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
And I hope our listeners are feeling empowered to build their own mental strength.
Absolutely.
So what are your final thoughts for our listeners?
Well, remember, mental strength isn't about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes.
It's about bouncing back.
Yeah, it's about resilience, about navigating those challenges with grace and courage.
And a sense of purpose.
Exactly.
And believing in yourself. Even when it's tough.
Even when it's tough.
So thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And we look forward to exploring more fascinating topics with you in the future.
I can't wait.
Until then, take care and keep those minds strong.
Keep them strong.